Tim Anderson Podcast. I'm Tim. That's my buddy Ty over there, the insurance salesman, agent. Not salesman. You're not a salesman. You're an agent. You're an agent to the stars. You don't have time to be peddling. You're not a salesman. It's not a term. It's a term unbecoming of you, isn't it, Ty?
I'm a little bit of a salesman, but we won't go as far as used car salesman.
Yeah, not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm sure there are plenty of great car salesmen. I don't know them, but I'm sure they're out there, and I'm sure they're wonderful people. But that's not us. That's not you. That's not me.
It's neither here nor there. Tim, I'm excited about this one. For the first time ever, we're taking this show on the road.
Oh.
Plus, I played golf since we last talked.
I also
Can't
have
wait
played
to
golf.
tell you and the folks at home about that.
Oh, let's dive right in. Let's not even screw around here. Let's get right to it. Let's talk about it. Let's figure out what it is we've done over the last couple of days, or a couple of weeks. We weren't on last week because we didn't feel well. We will get into it, but I think we just felt like we didn't have enough to fill an hour, especially since the weather here continues to be so terrible, and it's 35 even today. It's 50 degrees out and sunny, and you think it's a great day, but it's 25-mile-an-hour winds. You just can't get a break out here, man.
Good old Minnesota.
So we took a little break. We did make picks. We made picks, which maybe in your case we shouldn't have made picks because I just keep picking winners. That's all I do is pick the winning team every week. You pick the second-place person every week. That seems to be the problem that you and I are running into.
Yeah, and I think you gave me the out. You gave me the option to not pick, and I insisted. But when you're down, you can't be the guy who does the good thing, right? It does you no good. So we got to keep playing. There's plenty of season left. I'm going to catch you.
That's right.
At some point. I'm not saying I'm going to win, but I'm going to catch you.
That's probably true. Right now I have a 913... Take that back. 952-point lead heading into this week after picking 3 straight winners. I took Scheffler at the Masters. Actually, I didn't have Spieth at the Heritage, so that's incorrect. I did not have Spieth at the Heritage, but I've had Scheffler twice, and now I had the Xander-Cantlay duo at the Zurich. It's kind of a scummy win for Xander, though, isn't it? We can't count this. Like, we were talking about how Xander needs to get a win. He needs to get off the schneid. He needs to shit or get off the pot. And then he goes out and wins, but it's the team event. Does it count? Do we like counting this?
Yeah, I'm not familiar enough with Schauffele to know if he's friends with Finau, but they must be playing by the same playbook. They like to come out and win when it doesn't matter. Absolutely. You can't count it. It's a scummy win. It's honestly a little bit embarrassing that they call it a win. I'm not saying it's a bad event. It's nice that these guys get to change it up. I'm sure that's important to these guys to do something a little different, and can be fun for the fans, although I didn't have a whole lot of fun watching it. But no, it's not a win. It just isn't.
I'm bored by this event. I appreciate the Zurich trying to do something different. I really do, because you got to make yourself different on tour. I understand that completely. And for the international guys, it appears that they really like it. The International President's Cup guys, they all team together. You feel like they all play this event. It's clearly something that they like. It doesn't do a lot for me. There aren't a lot of great teams in this event. It's not an amazing tournament. It's not a great venue. It's just not super exciting.
Yeah, like I said, I'm sure the players like it, but you know the old days when the Twins would play like a Monday evening game and you'd all of a sudden you'd be like, I'm going to flip on the Twins game only to find out it's not televised. That's what the Zurich should be. Should be the not televised event. It's necessary. You got to do it, but nobody else really has to see it.
But it is a win for Cantlay and a win for Xander Schauffele. It goes in the books. They get to go to Kapalua next year. They get a nice little hit in the FedEx Cup points. They move ahead, get that one. Good effort from Billy Ho and Sam Burns. They take second. Nice win there. Let's talk about us, and then let's dive back to the golf, because Jordan Spieth won 2 weeks ago at the Heritage, and we didn't really get a chance to break that down. I want to talk to you about that tonight. There's also some Saudi Golf League news with rumor is now 15 guys in the top 100 have committed to that event, but it sounds like Louis Oosthuizen is the top-ranked guy. Phil filed for a release to play in that event. A lot going on as we get closer to that. We'll see if it's much ado about nothing, and see if they find a way to make some concessions. I don't know how this is going to end up, but I'd be interested to hear your thoughts when we get to all of that. But let's go back. You played golf last Thursday. You told me you had a story to tell. Do tell.
I do, and the story is not going to include my score. We're going to keep that. The folks at home don't want to, it's not October. It's not scary season. We're just not going to go there. But so I'm playing, I played okay. I just didn't really score, right? Putted well, had some nice holes. Parred the first 2 holes. And you're going to have to, so I was lucky enough to get onto the exclusive country club of Rum River Hills. And you're going to have to help me with, it's on the front. It's either 7 or 8. And there's a downhill drivable par 4. It's about 308 from the tips. We were playing the tips. And you wouldn't call it an island green, but there's water on most sides.
Yep.
And then the cart path, much like Onika, is it 10? Where the cart path runs in front on a strip of land in front of the green. Yep. So it's pretty grim. If you go for it, you'd have to be dialed in. I was not dialed in.
Yeah, I was not dialed in. Not a good decision. I don't know what you're doing going for that. There's too much water there. You lay up with a little, for you, it's like a little 7-iron.
So I hit a 7-iron. And it nestled down pretty darn close to the water, but in great position, nice flat lie. And so I had 108 to the stick, and I busted out I believe it's a 56-degree wedge, which is my 100-yard club. And I thought, man, if I can play it a little bit back on my stance and trap it, I can hit it about 110. But it was a little, it was cold. The hands were cold, and it was asking for a lot. So playing with my buddy Steve, shout out to my buddy Steve. He's a student of the game of golf, really good guy, getting a lot better. So shout out Steve, stick after it because you're going to be beating me soon. Another guy single who joined us, very nice guy. Gary, I think was his name. Great golfer. Gary probably shot 1 over, just sneaky little 73. Not bad. So I have 108 to the pin, hit my 100-yard club. I really put everything into it. Unfortunately, you know what happens sometimes when you strike it clean with a wedge is the harder you swing, the higher it goes, not necessarily the further it goes. So I'm watching it and thinking, man, that's going to be short. It's in the water. And then all of a sudden, boing, it hits the cart path. Bounces about, I'm not a very good judger of height, but bounced about 80 feet in the air. Imagine hitting what looked like a 60-degree wedge, 100 miles in the air, bouncing on the cart path cleanly, bouncing straight up in the air, lands on the green, dribble, drops in the hole for a 2.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not bad.
Put that on the card. That's a 2, the first eagle of the year.
Yeah, so Gary, who I'm playing with, this random single, said he's seen multiple hole-in-ones, and it was way cooler than that, my shot. So I was just total luck, just like my hole-in-one, just total luck.
Well, that's all luck.
But it was fun. I don't think I'll ever hit another shot in the hole off of the cart path again.
No, probably not. Probably never again. But that's awesome. You got to get a little luck out there sometimes.
Yeah,
and
it did not. The 2 did not bring me back to earth with my score, but
it's
early.
It feels that way.
Early.
I shot. There's magic at Rum River Hills. There's magic in them hills. That's where my hole-in-one is. The 4th hole, par 3. It's got a little soft spot in my heart here in the North Metro. It does. It has a little soft spot. I play it maybe once, twice a year.
I like Rum River Hills. I think it's an okay course.
The layout is fun. It's always a little wet. I feel like even if like last year we had 60 days of just 90+ degrees and it felt like it never rained, and yet you could walk on the 15th hole and feel like you were underwater. It's only there. I've never seen anything like it. Everything else is baked out looks like Carnoustie in the middle of a dry season. And then you go to Rum River Hills and you feel like it's been raining for days over there.
It was nice and dry for us on Thursday, but
hey, there you go. It has been a lousy year. My golf game has been shambles. It's not been good. I fired almost my first 90 in a while a couple Saturdays ago. Just really struggled. Shot 89. Thank God for equitable score control because that would have brought me probably up into the 90s. I'm sure if they would have let me take that triple bogey on my scorecard. But just nothing going right. And then I get a stomach bug. Last Thursday, I get this horrible stomach bug. Worst I've felt in a long time. I had COVID. I felt worse Thursday than I ever did in the last 2 years. And I went home. I have not left work for sickness ever. Never left early. Went home, slept all day. Friday, battled the state tournament for speech. Had a kid make the state final in humor. Shout out. Nicely done. Get home, and I got John. John boy calls me and says, hey, we got a 10-14 at the Refuge. We'll see you there. And I'm like, it's going to thunderstorm, and my game's in shambles. Haven't swung a club in days. He's like, we'll see you there at 10-14 tomorrow morning. So I get up. The rain clears just in time for us to tee off. Literally, the rain stopped at 10-13. And we teed off at 10-14 and fired a 77 at Refuge. It was kind of the old how Stella got his groove back right there. I mean, I just went out and I hit fairways. I hit 11 greens. Like, all of a sudden, the irons came back. Everything came back. It was just like it was like I came back in the DeLorean from 1955 and I had all this knowledge. It was just incredible. I had never seen anything like it. So I'm eager for Sand Valley now. It's reinvigorated me because I was very nervous that I was going to go out there and shoot 120. I still might, but I have faith now that I might have enough game to survive Sand Valley.
Tim, I'm just trying to break 100 on Friday. That's my goal. I really don't know what to expect. Battling a back injury. Long story short, Buxton's walk-off hit yesterday, celebrated a little too aggressively, and just threw out the back. But we're doing okay. That's why what's in the cup today is just a little bit of liquid ibuprofen.
I was just about to ask you what's in the glass, Ty.
Yep, liquid ibuprofen today. We can't mix them. We're not taking any chances with Sand Valley on Friday. We're going to get rest. Volleyball tomorrow, which is great. That's the best thing you can do for a back injury is play volleyball. So yeah, that's.
I feel like that's sarcasm. I feel like that's the worst thing actually you can do.
No. I wouldn't give you a dose of sarcasm on this show, Tim. Wouldn't do that to you.
You're walking. I'm going to be really clear about this. You're walking on Friday, and you're playing, and you're going to play all 18 holes, and I don't want to hear it. Like, there's no whining.
No, well, I could whine.
You can whine. No, that's fine. You can whine. You and I can both whine.
I'll have fun, but yeah, I'll probably whine a little bit. But I do have the push cart from the push cart of the century. Again, shout out John. Went and picked that up yesterday. Beautiful push cart. You're gonna
have no problems. It's gonna be easy to maneuver. You're gonna be great. The golf course is wide open, Ty. It's like playing links golf out there. Like, you're gonna be able to spray it all over this place. I mean, I think our short games are gonna be the thing that gets exposed here.
Right. Absolutely. I have not hit a practice putt the entire year. I've been playing on rough greens that, you can get away with pounding the ball and it ends up near the hole. So yeah, it's probably going to be rough from that perspective. That's why, honestly, 100. If I shoot under 100, I'll be happy.
Over under 5 times you putt from off the green.
After the recruiting I've done this week, probably over. I think they pretty much make no bones about the fact that you should be putting in a lot of areas. So I'll say over.
All right. I'm guessing too. I'm guessing I'll be chipping with hybrids. I've been working on it. I'm thinking it's going to be part of my game this weekend. the question here is this. We're going to play Sand Valley on Friday. Do we play something that we have to ride in a cart in, I would say, on the way home?
I'm open to that.
Do we play
we'll see how the back's feeling, but
do we play a White Eagle, a Troy Burn, a St. Croix National on the way home?
Yeah, we'll have plenty of window time to figure that out. But yeah, we'll see how the back's feeling. But I'd imagine that that's probably in the plans.
Will you get a chiropractic adjustment between now and Friday?
Yes, I will be at the chiropractor first thing tomorrow.
Say you have to get right for a 9-mile walk.
Yes.
Because here's my thing. If Tiger can walk Augusta, you can walk Sand Valley.
Yeah, and we're 2 peas in a pod. So
100%. We're going to hit it in the same spot. I mean, you're going to be 50 yards ahead, but I mean, same spot, and we're going to be fine. It's going to be great.
It's going to be great. I'm excited. I wouldn't miss it for the world. I'm trying to think of what would stop me from playing. It would take a lot more than what I'm going through. No issues there. I want to be in good shape because I want to play well and have fun and enjoy it. I don't want to be hurting on the back, There's a lot of interest in this trip. I have a number of people that seem genuinely curious about our experience at Sand Valley. Not sure if they're trying to live vicariously through us or they're planning their own trip. Either way, I'm here for it. I'm happy to please the masses.
Yeah, so, I've had some people ask me about this too because this is becoming, no question, the Kaiser, Mike Kaiser wants to turn this into Bandon Midwest. You know, with Sand Valley, with Mammoth Dunes, with the Lido coming, the Sand Pit being the little baby course they have there, the Sandbox, I guess you call it. Sandbox.
Isn't one of Bandon's courses Crenshaw course?
I think they have a shorty. I just don't know what it is. I can't remember.
But didn't Crenshaw and Core design one of the Bandon courses?
Yeah, I think they did. I want to say they did Pacific Dunes or Sheep's Ranch. I can look that up because they've had everybody out there. I think Doak's been out there. I think Crenshaw Core, David McClay Kidd. David McClay Kidd did the original Bandon, and now he did Mammoth Dunes. So like he's using the same
Tom
guys.
Lehman?
No, I don't think they've used Tom. Tom is up at Craigan's. Tom did Craigan's. He's done.
And they haven't had everybody. So for those who don't know, Sand Valley is the number 18 public golf course in the country. So we are playing a top 20 golf course in the country on Friday.
It's very
Golf
very
Week
exciting.
has it as number 16.
It's I think Pasatiempo was right in front of Bandon Dunes. I want to say I was right there. So I've played 2 of the top how many here in the last in the calendar year.
So just knowing what you know about Sand Valley, how high are your expectations? Or are you trying to temper them?
My even though it's early in the golf, I am tempering a little because it's early. Like, is the course exactly where they want it? I can't believe it's going to be that perfect because it's not June. I mean, hence we're not paying $300 for the round. We're paying $180. But we're playing. I do expect though I expect a very good golf course. I expect a course in very good shape. I expect a fun layout. I expect scenery and I think it's the size that I'm excited to see, the scope. It's going to look so much bigger. Like Pasatiempo was that way for me. When I got there, I'm like, this course just feels different than other courses. Like there's just something about the bunkering. There's something about the slopes. There's something about the layout that feels different. I feel that way here coming into this course. I feel like we're going to see it and we're going to be like, we've never seen anything like that before.
So this could be coach speak or golf designer speak, but I did write this down. So Bill Core said of Sand Valley, we wanted to create a golf course that as soon as you walk off the 18th green, you want to head right back over to 1 and play it again.
That's one thing I think with Crenshaw Core. One thing that's traditional with those guys is everything about their designs is here at Sand Valley. These wide fairways, the undulation, the sort of ruggedness. When they restored Pinehurst number 2, they brought the ruggedness back to Pinehurst number 2. They actually did Sheep's Ranch at Bandon. Sheep's Ranch has been considered one of people's favorite courses since that place opened. Pack Dunes, the Tom Doak, people say is the best one. But Sheep's Ranch might be number 2 behind Bandon Dunes. And everybody loves all of those. All of those courses are great. So I think we're going to see some traditional Crenshaw Court here. We're going to see big fairways. We're going to see weird undulation on the greens. We're going to see all kinds of different shots from different angles. And that I'm fired up for.
So I think we should hash this out. We did not prep for this, but I think we need to figure out which tees we're playing, assuming the weather holds up, right? It's going to be low 50s, wind around, 9, 10, 11, 12 miles per hour. We can handle that.
I actually think it's going to be great walking weather. That's good walking weather.
Yeah, perfect. So it's a par 72.
Yep.
The tips are 69.38. One ups are orange, 65.35, or the sand color is 6,050. So 69.38, 65.35, or 6,050.
I think they have combo tees, though, if you look at their scorecard. And a lot of these resort courses do the combo tees. And I'm a big fan of that. Because it kind of marries.
Yeah, it keeps you from the 250-yard par threes.
Yes. But yet, it doesn't create this really short course. Because I don't want to play it from 6,000, I don't think. I don't want to play it from 69. But I'm not playing it from 6,000. So that would either force us into 6,500 or hopefully it puts us into more of a. If there's a combo, you can get in at like a 63. And I think that's way more our speed. Yes, there is a combo. So we could do the orange sand combo at 63.31.
Is my gin going to recognize the combo? Or do I say I played from the black?
It should recognize the combo. I will go to the gin app right now and find out for you. We're doing all of this this is wonderful stuff. This is great planning. I'm super excited here. This is giddy golf stuff. This is why people listen to our golf pod, Ty.
Tim, you've played top 20 golf courses in the country. You've played some destination golf courses, bucket list places. What are your expectations when you go to a place like this? And I'm not necessarily looking for a score because you just don't know, right? You don't know how you're going to play and how it's going to score. But what are you looking for to say it's a successful round other than enjoying the views, which is 100% chance we will enjoy the views and enjoy the golf course? What type of expectations do you go into a bucket list golf course with?
I just want to hit shots. I want to have a couple good holes. Like Pasatiempo blew my mind. It was amazing. But I didn't play well early. Like I had to get it going at some point, and I got a couple of good holes, but there were a lot of holes that I just didn't have the game to play. Like, and I just it was a true assessment of my game to be like, yeah, you're not very good. Like, there's so many things you don't do well. And these courses sort of expose all the things you do poorly. And that's kind of the fun part. I hope it does that. I hope it shows me, here's where you have worked on your game, and it shows, and here's where you're not working on your game, and that shows. That's what I want it to do. Besides just having fun and having a good walk, I'd like to have a couple good holes, get on a little run, but I'd also like to be able to say, like, this course tested every shot in my game, and now I can go home and go, I need that shot, that shot, that shot, and that shot. Without being upset at myself.
And then a more specific question. So slope kind of does the job for us there, but let's say you're playing, let's say Pasatiempo, because you've played there. You haven't played Sand Valley yet.
Right.
Pasatiempo versus Rum River Hills. You show up and you have your B game. What's the differential in score?
With my B game, I could go to Rum River and shoot in the 70s. I mean, I can. I have. I've shown up there. I've just kicked it along, found a way to keep it in play, and that's really it. At Rum River Hills, if you don't hit it in the water and you don't put it behind trees, you're fine. The greens are flat for the most part. It's not all that. Putting is not that difficult, and you're fine. Just don't lose the ball. So with my B game, I can slap it around and shoot 78, 79. No problem. Pasatiempo, if you have a B game, you're going to struggle to break 90. Like, I shot 85. I think I shot 85, and I was probably B plus, B minus. And that was working my ass off to get that. Like, you had to hit. I mean, if I didn't have a couple of stretches where I could make a few pars, forget it. It wasn't happening. Like, there was just too many demanding shots. There were par fours that were 400 yards that I was just like, I can't get there in 2. Like, just with the way it's set up, with the way the barrancas were, with the way the greens were, with the way the flags were, where the bunkers were. I'm just like, if I'm going to play this smart, I should hit it over here and hit a pitch shot onto the green from where I hit my tee shot. Where it was like, I have no shot at the green from here on a par 4. It's crazy.
I tell you what, I am not shooting 85 at Sam Valley. There is no flipping way. The greens are going to eat me up.
By the way, you can use the gin. The orange sand is a 70.6 rating, the combo tee. 70.6 rating, 129 slope. The orange tees themselves are only a 71.4. We could almost just play the orange. But if you want to move up and play the combos, no problem here.
What's the difference in yardage?
About 200 yards.
Okay. The distance is just going to help me. Not that we're playing against each other. We're not. But I'm okay with either. Maybe
we go and ask the guy in the pro shop. Because this is one of my chief complaints, too. I just played Refuge, and we got paired with a guy. Nice fella. This is a common problem I have with people who play golf. They play the wrong tees. They just play the wrong tees. They're always playing one tee too far back. We played the whites at Refuge, which play about 6,000 yards, but it plays a hell of a lot longer than that, especially when the wind is up. The only hole where it doesn't play long, and it's basically just a gift, is the 9th hole. Where that par 5 now instead of it being the hardest hole on the golf course, now becomes the easiest hole on the golf course, and you should make a birdie. But every other hole is pretty tough. But this guy
tough.
He played from the greens, which, created 2 or 3 forced carries of 200-plus yards. And the wind is in your face on a couple of those holes. He didn't make the carry. And it's just like, why would you ever play from a tee you can't carry? I don't understand. I just think you got to play the right tees. So I think a conversation...
The Refuge is the home of the forced carry.
Yes.
There's not a whole lot of forced carry golf courses in the North Metro.
No, but that one is absolutely one.
And Refuge has definitely achieved that.
Yeah. I mean, the 9th hole from the green tees, if you go to the center, if you're aiming at the center of the fairway, it's like a 220 carry. And when the wind is in your face, which it usually is, and on Saturday it was, the wind was in your face 15, 20 miles an hour, you need 250 in the pocket to get it over the creek consistently or to carry the hazard. And this guy couldn't do it. No way. So, I don't know. I just think that was a really dicey move. Let me just look at some of the holes as we talk. From the orange tees. Nothing too scary right now, actually. I mean, you get a par 4 at 445. That's a little sketch for me. It's a little sketch for me. It's 415 if we do the combo. 536 par 5. That I don't mind. You get a short 4. So that's it. You get a long 4, but then you get a short 4. You get a 290 par 4. It's not, and then another long par 4 on the back. So, I mean, it is what it is. Ty, you can play where we can play. I think, though, it's early in the year. Maybe we play the combo. We'll see what they say. But my vote right now is the combo. I think my vote's the combo.
I agree. Yep.
All right.
I'm on board with that.
That's fantastic. Oh, God. Exciting stuff. Where do you want to go next, Ty? Do you want to talk, get back into tour talk a little Jordan Spieth? Where do you want to go?
I think we should touch on Phil.
Let's talk Phil. Okay, let's do that. Let's talk Phil. Phil this week committed, at least filled out papers to play the PGA, the U.S. Open, and asked for his release to play in the first Saudi golf event in London in June. So which tells me a Phil press conference is imminent. We're going to hear from Phil at some point. What do you make of those comments? Will he play the PGA Championship?
Yeah, I think he will. And does this have a little bit of remnant of the hidden ball trick here, like a little bit of wave the hand so you're not paying attention to what's happening over here? Little bit of that, right? It's convenient how they both come out on the same day. Of course, it's driven by his agent. Probably much to do about nothing, although I don't know that it was a shoo-in he was going to be playing in this tournament, and we still don't know. But I also don't know I don't know the rules around if he wants to be able to play in be granted his release and play in the Saudi Golf League, did he have to declare this, or did he have to ask for his release by a certain point? Or because they're also trying to come out and say, no, this doesn't mean we're committing. This doesn't mean we're going that direction. We just wanted to keep our options open.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not privy enough to that.
I know they have to get the release in and get it approved a month prior to the golf tournament. So like there was a timeline for the players to submit requests to get those releases granted in time. What I think is going to happen is, since it's not like a team format, there's a chance that the PGA Tour will grant some of these, I think, temporary releases, because they're going to say, you know what? It's not a team event. It's opposite the Canadian Open, but if you go play in this event, you can. But just know that we're watching. We're keeping very close eye on this, and you have to commit to go play in, 2 other events in the next 5 years, or something like that. I mean, the other names that have been rumored here, Robert Garrigus, Grayson Murray just won my heart a little bit over the weekend when he said, like, Kevin Na could go play there and nobody would miss him on this tour. I'll tell you that. He's the slowest player ever. He can go over there and slow up that tour if he wants. And it's like, that's exciting stuff. I appreciate that kind of commentary. But, I mean, it's Louis Oosthuizen, Phil, Robert Garrigus, Kevin Na. I mean, I don't know. Does that excite you? You jazzed up for that?
No, not at all. I'm not totally sure when you look at their clientele, or what you want to, their lineup card. I'm not totally sure what they're going for. I mean, I think I know that they're just trying to get the best golfers they can, the biggest names they can, and so far these are the biggest names they can. Even if you throw Phil in there, I'm still not watching.
Well, who's going to watch it? What channel is it going to be on? How are you going to see it? It won't be on. I guarantee you, the PGA Tour will say, this is not going to be on Golf Channel, NBC, Peacock, right, USA, anything else you own. And then they're going to go to CBS and say, by the way, this will not be on CBS, CBS Sports Network, anything that Viacom or Paramount owns, if you're interested in keeping our broadcast rights going forward. So that eliminates a lot of channels. And so that brings back TBS, TNT. I mean, but TBS and TNT are in the middle of basketball. They're trying to, I know they have that comfy deal with Phil and Capital One and the match and all that stuff, but like, are they trying to risk getting, are they willing to get on the bad side of the PGA Tour right now and start calling these events? I don't know. And the match isn't that highly rated of a thing anyway. So is that something that they want to do, especially with all the live programming they have with hockey and basketball and some of the stuff they've got? Oh, you're muted. Oh, Ty muted himself. There he is. Gosh,
there's no chance in hell it's going to be on main, 4, 5, 9, 11. It's just not happening. Fox is a free agent, right?
Yeah.
Since they gave up the U.S. Open.
Is Fox interested
it's not going to be on their mainstream channel, though, right? Maybe it'll be on the old Versus channel. Can't even remember what they call it.
That's NBC. You're never getting it. No, they folded that up. True. And that's just it. Is Fox ready? After Fox had a deal with the USGA and ran away from that deal as fast as they could, it was a total loss for them. Way too much money. They were not in good stead financially after that deal. Is this what they want to do? I mean, does FS1 and Fox really want to hitch their wagon to the Saudi Golf League and Greg Norman? Especially Greg Norman, who they hired to do the U.S. Open in 2015, and he was so bad they didn't bring him back.
Did you watch the Shark 30 for 30?
I got to do it. I haven't had a chance to see it yet, but I wanted to. That's on my list. It's in the queue.
I watched the first half of it. It's worth watching. They did a good job.
I will watch that.
But yeah, I'm not sure where it's going to be. Like
It's
I
not
said,
going to be on ESPN.
Yeah,
ESPN's got PGA Tour Live. There's no way they're doing that.
They're going to have to create some Saudi golf stream. Nobody's going to watch it. It's a foregone conclusion. No one's watching it.
So, I mean, and here's so Phil can go play in it. Nobody's going to see it. I don't think his sponsors are going to get on board here with this. Like, I don't believe Callaway's going to get back in on that. He's already lost all of his sponsors everywhere else. So, I don't know. I think Phil needs to play the PGA. I think he'll get a warm reception at the PGA because I think fans like him. But I don't think it's going to go that well. I think, like I said, we've seen the best of Phil, his golf game. This is all downhill from here. I don't think Phil contends ever again. We never see him in the top 10 of a PGA Tour event the remainder of his career. Never. I don't think it'll happen.
Totally agree. Is he done playing on the senior tour?
That's just it. There's no money in it. Clearly he needs more money. So the $400,000 he gets from teeing it up in some PGA Tour Champions event, he's not doing that. No way. No chance.
By the way, speaking of Phil, I went back and rewatched the final round of the 2006 U.S. Open.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Is that that's Winged Foot. Yep.
Winged Foot. Yep.
Oh, Jesus.
It was fun to relish in Phil's demise. But, yeah.
Phil's a lunatic.
Yep. He is. Speaking
of lunatics, Greg Norman, speaking of the Shark, Greg Norman says publicly, I'd like to come out and play at the British Open this year, the 150th anniversary at St. Andrews. I'm gearing up to make a big comeback. And the Asian Tour is like, good luck to Greg and his comeback and hope the RNA grants. And the RNA already came out and said, yeah, no special exemptions. If he wants to go through qualifying, he's more than welcome at 67 years old to go qualify. They've got a rule. After 65, the lifetime thing doesn't apply anymore. So, like, as soon as you turn 65, they're like, you got to qualify your way in like everybody else.
Where did he win at Carnoustie? Where did he win?
He won at because he won two different Opens.
Okay.
I want to say he won at, I don't think it was Carnoustie. Might have been Lytham and Troon. I think he won at Troon for sure.
Okay.
And maybe Turnberry or Lytham, one of the other.
Yeah, I think it might have been Turnberry. So that's something I would watch. If he showed up to some local qualifier, that I would watch.
Yes. Let's see if Greg, who hasn't played competitive golf in years, thinks he can just show up to St. Andrews. I get that's all a shill move to try to sell his product and talk to players, and the RNA knows it. They know that he's a ceremonial golfer at best. He won't go out there and break 75 at St. Andrews, which is easy as hell, by the way. It's one of the 5 easiest golf courses in the world right now. And he wouldn't break 75 out there right now with those pros. No chance. Go to qualify your way in if you're that serious. And you really think after he backtalks everybody on the PGA Tour and the RNA that they're going to bend over backwards and give him anything? Ridiculous. Greg Norman's delusional.
Yeah.
Psychotic. Lunatic. All right. Those are my thoughts on those two guys. We'll see. PGA Championship is only like 2 weeks away. Can you believe that? We are right on top of the next major. And we still haven't really heard from Tiger whether or not he's going to play in this event or not. I think he's been on the fence. There's some rumors that he might play, but we don't know. I guess we'll keep an eye out, but he hasn't said he's not going to play. That's the one thing we got to keep an eye out.
I think he will.
I think
we're going to see Phil and Tiger. I do.
I think they should pair them together.
That would be great.
Wouldn't you watch? Would you watch?
Oh, are you kidding me? Of course.
Yes. They should actually pair him, Phil, and Sergio or something. Or Spieth. Oh my God. Could you imagine the ratings machine that would be? They could set
I'm not sure
record.
It'd be great golf.
I don't know if it'd be great golf, but it'd be great theater.
Oh yeah. Spieth might win that one.
Let's talk Spieth for a second while we can. So we were ripping his swing up and down. You and I said, I don't know, don't like it. Still don't know if I like it. I still don't like it. He putted horrendously.
Terribly.
At the Heritage.
Yep.
Worst putting, I mean, just awful. And he won the tournament. What do you say to that?
He added a new jacket to the closet. It's just not green, unfortunately. Comes in a checkered pattern, and yeah, you don't see that very often. The way I watched a lot of it. I watched all day on Easter Sunday, and just a ball striking machine. He was putting the ball out there. Wasn't trying to do too much off the tee. But the thing with putting is it was definitely, you could tell, he wasn't in sync, but sometimes putting can be a little bit of a misleading stat because it can be inversely related to greens and regulation, because if you're hitting the ball, and having to chip onto the green, your putting numbers are going to be pretty good because you're going to have a lot of one putts. But if you're hitting the green in regulation, you're probably going to have a lot of 25, 30-foot putts.
Those aren't the problem, though. Like, he's fine on the leg putts.
Yeah, with him, it's 5-foot putts.
Yeah, 18-inch putts. Like, he's not making, he's struggling around 4 feet in.
3 putts from 3 feet?
Yeah. And that's happened a couple times this year now, where his brain just goes on brain lock and he just can't make these little shorties. But he'll make them from, he'll leg it down there beautifully from 25 feet all day. And you're right. The ball striking was off the charts. Like, his wedge game and his iron game and his chipping around the greens, his bunker play was stellar. I mean, it was as good as I've ever seen it.
Well, it had to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
To make up for not being able to put it from 5 feet. At some point, does he ditch the putter grip? Left hand low? There's a reason not a lot of people do it. I'm sorry, Tim.
There's a lot of people. I don't left hand low. I actually reverted back to the claw this past weekend. Reverted back.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to see the claw.
The claw's back. The claw's back. Listen, I can't make a putt. It doesn't matter. So, but I'm tired of not feeling like I have a chance to make the putt. At least I made a couple putts clawing. At least I made a couple. I made a few putts. A few putts went in.
When you claw it, you're not supposed to make it because it's a silly grip, and that's why you do it. Because your expectations are just low.
I'm going to continue to work on my conventional putting. I will continue to do that. But I'm just not it's just not good right now. It's just not good. I'm trying to decide if I want to bring the claw putter with me to Sand Valley or if I want to break out old Karl Marksman and see if that thing can work. My Marksman putter and the traditional grip, let's see if I bring that out. I don't know. Maybe I'll buy one in the pro shop.
I think you should bring John's chest putter. Does he still have that?
No, he doesn't have that one. He'll never let me. And he would never let me have it anyway.
Did he sell it?
He must have sold it.
Did he sell it?
Yeah, I think he sold it, or he got rid of it.
Did he break it over his knee?
No, he didn't break it over his knee. He. My guess is he moved it. He sold it to somebody who wanted it. I don't know.
Maybe he uses it to get around the yard.
He just put the flat cat grip on the even roll, and he's putting lights out. He is putting lights out right now.
Justin Rose Jr.?
He doesn't claw though. He's still conventional. Oh, okay. He's still conventional with the flat cat, but he is lights out on the green right now. I mean, he's making everything.
Does Rom use a flat cat? Who uses a flat cat? Flat
cat is Justin Rose and a few other guys. I think Ryan Palmer or some other guys like that use a flat cat, but he's putting the hell out of it. I give him credit. Like it's impressive. It's very impressive.
What do you think goes into being a good putter? I'm not convinced it's practice. I think it's all mental.
to me, it's muscle memory on speed. It's the ability to like recreate the stroke all the time and be able to figure out this is the stroke for 30 feet. This is the stroke for 20 feet, but also have the ability to say like, ooh, this green is faster. So now my 30-foot putting stroke is this putting stroke or whatever, or the putting green. Subsequently, it's slower. So now my 30, it's that ability to mentally say, this is the grip. This is the stroke. I just have to do this, that, and this every time. There's an art to it. I definitely think it's more art than science. Like, I think guys like Bryson try to make it science. I think it's art. And maybe that's my problem is, like, I'm trying to, I stopped putting a line on the ball. I've just kind of stopped doing some of that stuff because I'm like, I want to try to just be more of a feel putter. I just want to feel it. I want to see a line and just putt to it as best I can and try to feel it instead of trying to do all this exact stuff.
Do you have a day of putting drill to nail down green speeds?
I try to go putt a longer one. Well, I start with shorter ones just to see the ball go in the hole. So I always try to go to the putting green, and the first thing I try to do is try to make a couple of 4-footers or 3-footers. I just want to see the ball go in the hole. Then I'll step back to 10, 12 feet because I feel like I'm going to have some of those, like 10, 12, 15-footers. I need to try to get those to the hole as best I can. I don't need to make them. I just want to see if I can get it to the hole. And if I'm like most of the time what happens is if I don't do that drill before we start, like if I get to the course late or I'm too wrapped up in my own stuff and I don't get any putting, don't get putts in, you'll find that I leave like either I'm leaving them 7 feet past or I'm leaving them 5 feet short because I just have no confidence in what I'm doing and I have no feel for it whatsoever and it gets out of hand. This year it's been short. I'm leaving putts 4 feet short.
You're not supposed to do that.
No.
See, I don't have a drill. I don't have a plan for the putting green. Mostly I'm just I show up to the golf course and say, let's try to find the center of the club face. If I can find the center of the club face, and I'm not even talking about putting. You know me, I don't practice putting. Should, but I don't.
Probably should. I'm just going to say, I would consider doing that. I don't think it would be a bad thing for you to make, hit a few putts before the round starts.
Drive for dough, putt for show, right? That's what they say.
Spend a lot of dough driving golf balls into the weeds. Lose a lot of dough on the greens because you haven't practiced putting.
Is that me?
I think that's the expression. Actually, no, you're driving the shit out of it. I don't think that's the issue. I'm not worried about your driver at all. I think you're going to drive the hell out of it on Friday.
Just have to get a little loose.
We got to get
beers.
We got to make sure. I'm going to double check the tee time here because I think we play 11:30. I'm going to find that out here.
Okay.
And that means we got to get to the course early enough to hit some balls. We got to hit some balls. We got to putt. I got to see what these greens are.
Tim, are you going to blow your gasket if they don't have free range balls?
Oh,
would that be a bad start?
Oh, yeah. It'd be a horrible start. Big knock against them. Huge knock. But, again, that has not been my experience at the really good golf courses. Pasatiempo, free balls. Madeiras, free balls. Half Moon Bay, no driving range. That's the only thing that hurt them. Otherwise, I think I would have had free balls. It's a beautiful golf course, though. You go up to Giants Ridge, free balls. Wilderness, free balls. Deacon's Lodge, free balls. Classic, free balls. The good Stone Ridge did not. That's why Stone Ridge is a notch lower. Sorry.
Royal, too, I think, is what you had an issue with.
Royal, notch lower. Yep, you're just not on that level. You're not on that level because you're too cheap. Like, Troy Burn doesn't give you, they give you a warm-up bucket. They give you a free warm-up bucket at Troy Burn, and that's fair. It's very fair. I think that should be standard at every golf course. Every golf course should do that.
Yeah, I'm sure most of them are just trying to protect themselves against the freeloader who shows up every day and hits balls and never spends a dime at the course. But yeah, the free bucket with your round is at the minimum what $80 golf course should be doing. I think that's the line.
11:30. 11:30 is the tee time, by the way. So if people are out in the area and they want to come see me and Ty play golf, 11:30 at Sand Valley.
Yeah. Great.
We'd be happy to have you tag along with us. It'll be a fun time.
You can push my push cart. You can order me beers. I'll let you buy me a beer. How's that? If you come out and watch, you can buy me a beer.
Do I have permission to drive the company vehicle if you have too many beers on the golf course?
Yes.
Is the place we're staying at, is there a bar in the place we're staying at?
Yes.
It's going to get out of control. It is going to get out of control, you and I.
It might. I'm trying to remember what it's called.
I'm looking
for the one you told me about.
We don't need to give away the hotel for everybody. I'm sure they'll all be showing up. Then the groupies show up. That's when things get out of hand.
Yeah,
especially
that's
for
true.
you. Especially for you. Not for guys like me, but for guys like you, they show up. The line's out the door. Women, men, you name it. They're all out the door, willing to hang out with you. They just want to talk to you.
That's a good point.
Just looking out for you, Tyus.
It is not. We are not staying at the Hotel Mead, for those wondering.
Yes. Not staying there.
Not staying there. We're also not staying at the Sand Valley Golf Resort.
Not staying
Too
there.
rich for our blood.
A little rich for our blood.
Maybe in the future.
Yeah, a little rich for our blood. We just want to play golf. We're just there to play golf.
Right.
Credit to those people. They were very kind to us as far as getting us a chance to get out there and go play a little golf. And especially being one of the first, it's their first weekend open. I think we're one of the first people going out.
Really?
I think we're one of the first people out for the year at Sand Valley.
Wow.
Huge.
It's an honor.
Yeah, it sure is. Let's talk a little bit about this golf tournament this weekend. I know that you and I probably won't watch a ton of it, although we might catch a little bit of it Thursday night at the bar restaurant. The Mexico Championship at Vidante, I believe is what it's called.
Yep.
New tournament. It replaces Chapultepec, the WGC, which is kind of sad because I kind of like Chapultepec. Kind of like that golf course. I don't know this golf course at all. You've been to Mexico way more than me. What is this place?
I couldn't tell you. Really, Tim, all I had to do was read that there were three top 25 players in the field. One is Jon Rahm. That's nice. That's okay. But it's bottom line, it's a pretty weak field.
Darn weak field.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
I don't know much about the golf course. It's previously, I think, a Latino America event. So it's the first year that this has been a PGA Tour event. We'll see if it sticks. Good for the PGA Tour to be playing tournaments in Mexico. That's a good thing. That's good for everybody. But the field shows that the players are not quite bought into it yet.
It's just in a weird spot on the schedule. We just played, we've played the Masters. We're gearing up for the PGA. There's a couple tournaments in Texas coming up, like Byron Nelson and Quail Hollow's coming up. And I just don't think that I don't know if this one excites people. But, hey, they got Jon Rahm. That's big. It's a good get. If you can get a couple of big draws at the top, that'll help a lot. Abraham Answered will do a lot for this tournament. Should be all right.
Do you think they'll ever get to where there's like a Mexico swing? I mean,
see, I don't, because
the weather's beautiful in Mexico.
I think they want less tournaments, not more. I think they're going to be looking at some point, I think they're going to go away from this wraparound schedule. I just believe that. I think what they want to get to, especially with this Live Golf Challenge, they want to get to a place where that fall is team stuff. I think they'd love to do the tour and then do a fall team thing. And then basically just shut out the Live Golf folks and say, like, you're out. Like that, just like they did with the WGCs. They basically stole the World Tour idea from Greg Norman. Or they didn't steal it. They just said, we'll just do it, but then you can go away and we'll take all the money for ourselves. Smart business, and they'll do the same thing here. I think that's part of what's being negotiated here. I really do. I don't think the players want to play year-round. I think they want to figure out a system that makes sense.
I would be okay with that. I just worry a little bit. You're going to get a little bit of the four major sports where they're not willing to cut games. They want to add games, if anything, record books, revenues, concessions, all of that. And also scratching the back of as many sponsors as they possibly can. You get a tournament. You get a tournament. Everyone wants a tournament. The best way they can appease these people, give them a tournament. So I just don't know who they're going to eliminate.
But I think you can have the same amount of tournaments. Now, granted, you just have to do more opposite field events. Like they did. I mean, they moved an opposite field event of the Arnold Palmer. Like they had an opposite field event to the API. I could see this Mexico Championship being an opposite field event to, the Byron Nelson or to Wells Fargo or to whatever, and just be like, that's how you shrink fields. I think they want to shrink fields because I think the top guys are like, we don't need 156 guys in the field. Okay, let's get 100 guys in the field and then have an opposite field event of another 100 guys.
Yeah, way better for TV too.
Yeah, and then you control. If you have an event that's a prime timer, you can have an event that's in the morning on the other side. Makes perfect. I think it makes good sense, and it gets them what they want.
Yeah, it makes all the sense. It just makes it tough when people want to see Jordan Spieth and he's teeing off at 7:00 in the morning and he's walking off the golf course as the broadcast starts. That's not really good for TV, and we all know the money's in the TV. So it makes sense to me. Jay Monahan, when you retire, Tim Anderson, you have my vote.
That's kind of you, Ty.
PGA Tour Commissioner.
I appreciate that. And then I think you can do in the fall, like you can do made-for-TV events that are during the week. Then you could say, we're going to do team events. We'll do 5 of them, and we'll do them on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or something like that. That gets it off football. And you're not competing against football for primetime ratings, and you still get your guys in big spot to make money. I like that. I mean, what's wrong with that?
Nothing. Speaking of made-for-TV golf and football, what do you think of the latest announcement about Capital One's The Match?
I'm not excited. It doesn't do a lot for me.
You kind of need the pros.
Yeah, I don't. Watching amateurs play golf doesn't excite me too much. It just doesn't. It doesn't excite me. It doesn't get me going. Whenever they put them on TV, it doesn't I'm like, ooh, I need more of that. Like the American Century is not the worst tournament in the world at Lake Tahoe. It's not bad. The venue helps, but it's not that interesting. Like I'm not wowed by it. I'll watch it, but am I going to stop everything to watch it? No.
Are you going to pay your $30 pay-per-view just to get it back?
Hell no. No, absolutely not. Zero chance that happens.
Did you buy the Tiger Phil match?
No, because they screwed it up and we ended up getting it for free anyway.
Well, yeah, I paid for it and got it back.
Sorry to hear. Yeah, you got it back, but I got it for free. When it was on and I watched the last or whatever, and it was fine. It was okay. I mean, I'll watch Tiger play golf anytime. Doesn't matter. It was fine. Right. But it wasn't that amazing. It wasn't It wasn't astonishing.
How many people lost their job with that mix-up?
God, I've
had to be a lot of dollars.
I have to assume quite a few folks did not get asked back. Let's just say that. I don't believe they got asked back.
Right.
All right, Ty, should we make some picks?
Let's do it.
Let's try to make a few picks here for the Mexico Championship at Vidante. All right. As always, you're trailing, and you're my friend, and you're my guest. So you must go first. You are on mute again, Ty. You need to unmute the microphone and talk.
Maybe I wasn't talking.
You were, though, because your lips were moving. You're not what are you, ventriloquist? Charlie
Maybe.
McCarthy?
So when you're losing, Tim, what can you do besides choose the best player in the field by a mile, who I'm sure you also have? I went with Jon Rahm, $12,200.
I did take Jon Rahm as well because I agree with you.
Oh.
You have to take the best guy in a field like this. You have to.
Right.
No choice. So I also took him, also because he is a cut-making machine. You feel good that he'll at least play the weekend.
Right.
So we got to toss him out.
Yep. toss out my workhorse there. I have a feeling you took this guy too. Although he was expensive, he was only $500 cheaper than John Rahm. I went with the hometown kid. I went with Abraham Answer. You can't not here.
You got him. I didn't take
Playing
him.
a home game.
I didn't take him.
Ooh.
You get him.
Too rich?
A little too rich. So again, I'm trying to find sneaky trends. I'm trying to find things that excite me. 10,500. Little rich for my blood, but I like how he's playing. I'm taking Aaron Rai. Formerly of the DP World Tour, where he's won a couple times. He wears 2 gloves all the time. He has iron covers. All the things I would normally hate about that guy. But then I looked at my buddy John. John wears 2 gloves all the time. And now that he's playing these sweet-ass Ippon irons from Japan, iron covers. So I'm tapping into the John vibes here, and I'm going to go Aaron Rai.
I did look at him. He played well in the team event. And did he play the Masters?
I think he did. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look.
So I stuck with my trend of Spanish-speaking individuals, $10,000, and I went with Carlos Ortiz.
You're really trying to play up this Latin American flair here, and I admire that about you. Little Spanish fire you're trying to create right now, and I kind of like it.
Yeah, we'll see.
This is why I completely am going the opposite direction again, and I'm going to take for 9,800 Sahith Theegala. This kid's good. I really believe in this guy's game. I think he's good.
Yeah.
He's one of these guys that I think is going to win. I think he's better than guys like Akshay Bhatia, who people love him, and they think Akshay Bhatia is going to win. I haven't seen anything like that from him yet. That makes me think he's going to be a big-time PGA Tour player. But I see Sahith Theegala, and I see like a grinder. I see a guy who's going to be pretty darn good at this level in a matter of years, if he's not better already.
Yeah, totally agree. I like that pick a lot. I liked it so much that for $9,800, I took Sahith Theegala. So, sorry, Tim. I know.
God damn it. All right.
I don't think our last 2 picks are going to match up, if that makes you feel any better.
I got 3 picks left because that was your 4th, right? So that was pick 4 for you? All right. Yep. My 4th, and I don't think you have them, 8,500. I'm taking only because he's playing better. He was not playing well earlier this year at all. But he had a good year last year, and I think we're starting to see the trend the other direction. I'm going to take Hank Lebioda. Hank Lebioda this week, 8,500. He's only made 6 of 17 cuts. It's not good, but I have to see if he's trending in the upward direction. I got to feel like he's bottomed out, and I'm going to buy him on the come up the other way.
Yep. He also played well at the team event. I assume his team played well at the team event. I suppose that could have been his counterpart. But, yeah, certainly played well last year. Was picked a lot on the show, especially by you, Hammer and Hank. But, yeah, struggled this year. But what a better place to get it back than the Mexico. I think it's the Mexico Open.
Mexico Open, you're right. The Mexico Open at Vidante.
Are they going back to – this is random. Are they going back to – what's the course out east that they plugged last year? It was a first time. And,
well, they always played
didn't
Mayakoba.
that South African kid win?
Oh, yeah. I don't think they're going back to they played it was because it was kind of a fill-in event for the Canadian Open, I think, or something like that.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Couldn't play the Canadian
with Garrick
Open.
Higo. Yeah, I don't believe they are going back there.
Okay. All right. Sorry for the diversion there. So with my 5th pick, I went with someone who I like a lot, has been okay this year. I went with Grayson Sigg.
Grayson Sigg didn't play well. The team didn't play well. His team did not play well this past weekend. Didn't make the cut.
Neither did Troy Merritt.
Fair.
How dare his teammate drag him down like that?
Yeah, Robert Streb, that's where Troy's got to take a little bit of blame here. You don't take some stiff like Robert Streb to go to a tournament like that.
Streb is in the field this week, and I couldn't have glazed past him any faster.
Oh, yeah, what a disgrace.
Drag down
yeah,
Troy Merritt
no
like
chance.
That.
Yeah, forget that. Yeah. Screw that. No way. Horrible. I'm going to take Cameron Tringali, who I feel like is knocking on the door to win, but like I don't think he's. You want to talk about a guy who's not a closer? That is Cameron Tringali, not a closer, but he's making cuts.
Not a closer,
he's playing well.
Played well last year. He's playing okay this year. I think he played well at the Masters this year.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we'll see. Not a bad pick. Certainly somebody I looked at seriously this week. So with my last pick, I did not. Sometimes I get to circle back and take a really nice player because I have a lot of money left over. This is such a weak field that you end up spending a lot of money for not a great golfers. So I did not have a lot of money left. So I had to scroll way to the bottom, and I took a guy who's made half of his cuts this year, hasn't played a lot. He's battling injuries. I took Wesley Bryan for $7,600.
You know, Wesley started to show some flashes a couple weeks ago. I think it was, I don't know if it was at Valspar, either right before the Masters or it was right after at Heritage. But I actually thought Wesley Bryan started to show some signs that maybe he was starting to figure it out. Like he was starting to play a little better. I'm rooting for Wesley Bryan because I like him. I think he's a fun player. He's got a great personality. I think if he gets paired with Rahm, it's a comfy pairing. They're like besties. So I'd like to see that for Wesley Bryan because he's a good player, and I want to see more guys like him play well on the tour. You know, I want to see them get more of those breaks, right? Like, you know, not long hitters, but like good iron players, shot makers. Last guy, I also did not take a long hitter. $8,000. He's made 12 of 19 cuts. Peter Malnotti. Just kind of a steady Eddie guy. I don't know if he can win a lot of tournaments on tour. I don't think he can, but I think he can hang around, make a cut.
Right. Yeah, not a guy you expect to see in the winner's circle, but not a bad pick.
So there we have it. Two guys are out. We're not playing with Thigala and Rahm this week. It's going to basically be you have Abraham Answer versus the world. It should be a week for you to get right.
I need it.
You got to tear into the lead here a little bit. The next time you and I chat on this podcast, we will have been to Sand Valley and back, and we will file a full report on this podcast. There's a good chance that we relive it shot by shot. And then also, if we play a second round of golf, we'll definitely talk about that in the undercard because that'll be worth talking about as well.
Right. Have to.
Cannot wait, Tyus. It's going to be a great time. If you want to listen to this podcast, please make sure you subscribe. Apple Podcast, Spotify, Podbean is where you can find us. Our home site is Podbean, timpodcast.podbean.com. Find us at facebook.com/timpodcast. Find me on Twitter at Tim Anderson Pod. Find me on Insta at Mr. Tim Anderson. I'm basically everywhere, wherever. It doesn't really matter. But you can find me, share it out, tell a friend, share the hell out of the damn podcast. That would be all the things that me and Ty would ask for. We want to thank that listenership. It's been awesome the last couple of weeks. It's been really, really cool to see people listening to the Golf Pod. And hopefully you'll enjoy our Sand Valley report next week. So until next time, for my guy Ty, this is Tim saying keep your head up, and we'll see you.